This just in, breathing oxygen is linked to staying alive. And today's top story, if you like drinks, you're gonna love Drizzly. Drizzly is the #1 app for alcohol delivery, where you can compare prices on the biggest selection of beer, wine, and spirits, and get them all delivered to your door in under 60 minutes. Sources say that it all can be done on the Drizzly app or on Drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com. Back to you, Tom.
How about we heat things up tonight?
How so?
Get a little fresh, add some steam, sizzle, and spice.
Wait, you're talking about going to Outback again, aren't you? Fire things up at Outback Steakhouse. For a limited time, try our bloomin' fried shrimp or get fresh with our new strawberry salad. Go big with our bone-in ribeye or the filet and grilled shrimp on the barbie. Then cool off with a cucumber crush or peanut koala. Try them all before they're gone. Let's Outback.
Stand by. The vacuum tubes are warming up. This is a special live broadcast right here on Georgia Radio.
Good evening. This is Wade with Matt Jolly here with the
You can't
Georgia.
say that kind of stuff right at the start of the show, and then wait for us to go to break.
That's right. We say this. I say something to get us tickled that I can't say on the air, and then we're laughing about it, and then y'all are wondering what are they laughing about. Well, I can't tell you, but yeah, you are.
Well, you could.
Here.
But you could
well,
tell
I
them.
could, but that'd be the last show probably.
Yeah.
But or it'd be a big, completely different show. But anyway, you're here with the Georgia Folk and Farm Life radio show on Georgia Radio with Matt Jolly and myself, Wade Peoples, and Luke Conway, my sidekick here with me, the baby. And brought to you by Meeks Brothers Cattle Company. That's our sponsor, and we're proud to be sponsored by them. They're a great company, a great family, a great product. Well, Matt, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing just fine. I keep waiting on this rain. I got a message just a few minutes ago that says it is 6 minutes away from the barn, and that it's going to rain for a few more. I was listening to the Georgia Radio app. The My Georgia Radio app was telling me that it was just a few minutes away. So,
well, I was watching Channel 6, and the weather lady said that the front was it was in West Georgia now and moving, and it was going to probably peter out a little bit, and going to die down and lose some punch. No bad weather, just some little rain, and we need rain. It's getting dry and dusty.
It is getting dry and dusty, and I was talking to some friends of mine that are farmers just the other night, and they're out pulling up corn and all this kind of stuff, and they're worried about fires. Yeah, it is that dry. I was talking to Mace Henry, a friend of mine today. That Mace is a great guy, good folks, and he and his entire family. And we were talking about farming, and Mace farms. He serves on the board of education. He farms. He's got involved in a lot of things here. A young farmer in the community, involved in his church, family things, and so he's a good one to talk to. I've never farmed, and a lot of people say, "You've never?" No, I've never farmed, and I've helped with farming and been around farming, and you learn a lot by helping and being around, but you don't learn it all or learn enough. So we were talking today about the current crop of cotton and peanuts mostly. Corn was good this year, but there's not a lot of corn right now. There's very few soybeans. That's funny that when I was young, there were no soybeans, and then soybeans got to be the crop. When cotton died out, cotton faded away because of the boll weevil, and also because America and the world became enamored of man-made fabrics and polyesters and things. And it was kind of a double whammy for cotton. But the boll weevil eradication program really, it paid dividends. But by the 1970s, two things that I thought would always be here: turpentine had faded away, and cotton growing. And 1976, I remember, was the last year that a bale of cotton was ginned in Emmanuel County. They were still growing some in Burke and a little bit in Screven, but after that, but in our area, cotton had gone away, and it came back in the 1980s and the 90s. It really came back strong, and the soybean that had become ubiquitous began to fade away, and people that had been growing beans and corn went to cotton
Tobacco also went away. It was a common crop back then. You don't see tobacco anymore. Raising hogs was a local thing that farmers did. That went away. So there's been a lot of changes in farming in my lifetime, and I'm not that old. I'll be 64, by the way, on Halloween, October 31st, this next week. It's my birthday.
I'm going to come down and knock on your door.
You are. You're going to be like trick-or-treat.
It's a trick-or-treat, Mr. Wade.
I'll come out with a pillowcase full of candy.
I bet you will.
and whack
me right upside the head.
And it ain't going to be Tootsie Roll. It's going to be hard candy. It's going to be a hard candy. Yeah.
A pillow full of Smarties right to the head. Wade didn't get many trick-or-treaters out where you live.
No, and that's fine with me. I'm an old curmudgeon, and I'm like, who is that? Kids, bah humbug. I'd be like the Ebenezer Scrooge of Halloween, even though it's my birthday. I feel that gives me the right to be, where I don't have to fool with getting that candy. It's my birthday.
If somebody knocks on your door, though, they should bring you candy. But if someone knocks on your door out there, they're probably seeing if they can pave your driveway.
Listen,
or your roof.
Listen, this is true. Months and years pass that nobody knocks on my door. I lived, before I moved where I am this side, I lived on the other side of Garfield in a mobile home in a pecan orchard. And I told somebody that only one time in the 12, 13 years I lived there, did anybody knock on my door that was somebody I didn't know? One.
Who was it?
It was somebody that was lost.
Yeah, had a flat tire.
Yeah, I don't remember. They were lost and looking for, they were lost, and I told them where to go.
I've driven past that place with you.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, if I were lost, that's probably the last place I'd walk up to and say, "Excuse me, I need some directions." That's the kind of place that you just never come back from,
No, that's
yeah.
But
they must have been from around there, though. They country folk.
The only time since I've been here, and I've been here on like 3 or 4 years, 3 years, I guess, a little over 3 years. In this house, and I love it out here. It's equally secluded, and I think I've had one time somebody knocked on my door, and that's a story for another time. That was I don't know if I want to tell that story here.
Well, we're going to load up the car, right? I bet Susan and everybody else that's listening to this show is thinking about how they can get over there and knock on your door on Halloween night.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Randy is.
Conway might bite them.
Yeah, if Randy's listening, he's thinking. Going to be the pork rind bandit come to your doors. What's going to happen? All right, so what do you got for us tonight, by the way?
Rind. Randy makes he does make some fantastic pork rinds. Good Lord.
Well, what do you have for us tonight? Because you've been planning this show all afternoon. I know you've got something.
Yeah, I worked on this show for a good 15 or 20 minutes today, and it shows.
No. What do you got? You got something you want to talk about tonight? I know you do.
Well, I just want to talk about farming and the crops and things. That's Georgia folk and farm life. That's what we're about.
Okay.
Farm life, yeah.
Did you see that our friend Chris Adams, CB Adams, has pulled up his gopher rice patch?
No, I know. Listen, I want some of that rice.
Isn't that great? We need to have him on.
I want Chris to cook one of those hogs, those Ossiball hogs, and some of that gopher rice, and some biscuits. Yeah.
He shared a picture of him holding a little hog.
Yeah,
that's the little baby hog.
What did he? The other day, he named that Sal. What was her name? I loved her name.
It's a cute little pig, though, that he's holding.
Mary Todd. I think that's right.
As in Mary Todd Lincoln?
Yeah, Lincoln's mom named it Sal after her. Which Chris is hilarious in a very dry way. It was Mary Todd. That's what it was. I cracked up when I saw that. He named his heritage Sal Mary Todd. I know that's what it was. Yeah.
There you go.
Mary.
Well, hey, the other thing I wanted to mention, seeing as how we're talking about farming, is the Georgia National Antique Ag Show is coming up, and you've got to come to this.
I would love to go to that.
It's November 10th through the 12th, right there in Perry at the Georgia National Fairgrounds. And I'm telling you, this is my favorite event that they have there. Really is. I've been to a bunch of events there, and this one is my favorite that they have. And, it's the same weekend, I think, as the big gun show that they have going on up there. They also have the mini tractor pull, and I think there's a junior livestock show and rodeo going on up there.
Well, I bet Jerry Green will be there.
He's going to be there.
Remember Jerry?
Yeah,
Jerry loves. He is a stalwart little mini tractor puller. He's got some great competitors. That family has really shown how committed they are to it with the level of the quality of the work, the builds they have, and the pools they do.
I wonder if they'd let you and me race down that track on some mini tractors.
No, they wouldn't do that. And they would know better.
They'd know better. That'd be fun.
They'd know better.
You'd turn around and go the other way, though. That's what.
Well, they'd have to have a pretty hefty one. It's like jockey. I mean, I think you have to have an advantage in weight and things like that in a mini tractor pull, and you need a lightweight person, and you're much more lightweight than I am.
Listen,
I'm an old hard ass, and you may have to edit that part out, but that's what I am. I'm an old one.
Listen, I was there last year, and they've got some calorie enhanced participants. You're going to be just fine.
So you're telling me it's not like horse jockeys? It's not little people out there on the mini
they're not looking for folks like me.
Oh, maybe I was just thinking horse racing, I guess.
Now, they do have some kids out there that do it.
Yeah.
And I watched a kid that was probably 8 or 9 years old go down the track on one of those things. Just moving. I'm serious, moving. Now, they got a guy that...
Hey, those kids are good. They've learned that craft. They know how to do those pools, man.
What do you call the wart on the pickle that sits back there in the back end? I don't know what else to call it, but the person that rides the sled.
Yeah,
they got
sled jockey.
They've got a guy back there that rides the sled, and we could do that. I mean, how hard could that be?
Yeah, they'd have to take a few blocks off of it and get the viper on there to get the weight right.
Why's the front end coming up?
He picked up the whole sled.
Somebody tell Wade to turn around.
Yeah,
I think it'd be fun. Are we going to go? Let's go on Saturday. Let's go down there. That's going to be a busy weekend.
Yeah, we might just do that.
We've got a Griffin Opera House show that same weekend. Going to be a busy weekend. Going to be fun.
Listen, that is one fabulous place. That Griffin Opera House is a beautiful place.
Well, I'm just going to.
If you
come
haven't
up here,
seen it, Google it. Look up pictures of the historic restored Griffin Opera House, where we will be having, or Matt will be having, some events there, and
we'll be having the old time radio hour there.
Radio hour, and I hope to be involved in that.
You will be. You're going to be singing.
Yeah, that's don't people leaving in droves. I can hear them right now.
Oh, we're gonna turn it up a notch. We're gonna have a good time up there. Yeah, but I really think you ought to come out to the Antique Ag Show. They have some really great things out there.
I like the old tractors, the old gas engines, stationary engines, the old hit and miss engines, the steam engines, whatever they have, and the old farm implements and things. Yeah.
Well, syrup. They'll have a syrup boil going.
Syrup boil.
Yeah, they'll be cooking syrup. They'll have some cane grinding and all that kind of stuff going up.
Which reminds me, Matt, that's coming up. Most people around here that make syrup, do cane grinding and make syrup, they do it around Thanksgiving. And so that's next month. It's a little early for it right now. And George L. Smith State Park will have their annual cane grinding event and syrup making. That's always well attended and a good thing. But I am proud to say that there are still a good many folks around here that still make good syrup the way they used to. The only difference, most don't do wood-fired because it's hard to find fat ladder cat faces and fence rails and posts and things and old lumber and stuff. And so most have gone to propane, gas fired syrup cookers. And they make the syrup that the way they used to. And I always enjoy going to at least one syrup boil. And it's something that's in your blood. And the syrup the final product is a bonus. But the experience, if you've never been
and set in a syrup shed or syrup house where somebody's making syrup the old way. It's a wonderful experience, and it's deeply ingrained in our culture.
It's too bad we've never been invited to one the whole time we've done this show. We could be live from a syrup boiling.
Yeah, we could do that.
We could do the whole show from down there.
Now, I'm going to find somebody that will let us go do that.
Yeah, you need to. The sooner
Have you
the
ever
better.
been to a syrup boiling?
Not up here.
Or anywhere?
Yeah, I've been to one, but it wasn't very good.
Where?
Well, I'm afraid to tell you about that story. It was
Texas.
It was a late night.
It
was a late night at the IHOP, and we got a little carried away with that bottle of Miss Butterworth's.
Yeah. Waitress, yeah. That don't count, man. That's not count. Hey, it's time for a break here.
No, well, I wanted we got to get on something real quick though before we go to break. Did you see the thing that Miss Linda Roach shared about the birth of those two little beautiful babies? Did you see that the other night? I know you don't allow hospital beds, but it had a mama and two babies in it, and this beautiful thing written about these two beautiful babies that were born. And I just think it's incredible. What a great story. They're just gorgeous little babies there. And it was written by Cameron Clay. And he says, I'm without words. I don't even know how to describe what I witnessed today. The love of my life giving birth to our beautiful girls. I have a deeper appreciation for my wife than I have ever had. The amount of strength and courage that she's shown over the past 36 weeks, it's unworldly to me and leaves me wondering, what could possibly be better than this? Isn't that great?
That is. That really is.
Words of a new father.
Yep.
Right there.
I like that.
Truly great.
I like that.
You want to take a break now?
Yeah, this time.
All right, here we go.
Hi, this is Wade Peoples from Georgia Folk and Farm Life Radio. I'm here to tell you about Meeks Brothers Cattle Company. And you don't have to worry about supply chain issues or where your beef comes from. Do what I do and call Meeks Brothers Cattle Company today. You can get a whole, half, a quarter, any amount of beef you want. Good quality beef, vacuum packed, lasts up to 3 years in your freezer. It's grass-fed, grain-finished, made to order. Visit Meeks Brothers Cattle Company on Facebook today and tell them Brother Wade sent you. And that's Meeks Brothers Cattle Company. Thank you.
I know you can hear me, and so can your customers. Lots of people don't take kids seriously. Well, listen up. Advertising on Georgia Radio is seriously easy and affordable. Visit georgiaradio.com/advertise, or better yet, call the station. So let's talk. Your customers are listening, and so is my mom. Hi, Mom.
At NetApp, we're, dare we say, in love with the cloud, and we're consumed by its epic potential. For years, we've been fine-tuning our approach. Heck, we love the cloud so much, we integrated all our data management experiences into it. NetApp makes the cloud work smarter and harder by letting you connect your data no matter where it is, access and securely manage your data, automate processes and optimize infrastructure, unlocking all your data's possibilities. Tap now or visit netapp.com/love to see how amazing the cloud can be.
This just in, breathing oxygen is linked to staying alive. And today's top story, if you like drinks, you're gonna love Drizzly. Drizzly is the #1 app for alcohol delivery, where you can compare prices on the biggest selection of beer, wine, and spirits, and get them all delivered to your door in under 60 minutes. Sources say that it all can be done on the Drizzly app or on drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com. Back to you, Tom.
Welcome back. And you're here, and if you're just joining us or you rejoin us after the break there, you're listening to Georgia Radio, Matt Jolly's Georgia Radio, and my show, Georgia Folk and Farm Life, a radio show. It brought every Tuesday night, brought to you by Meeks Brothers Cattle Company. Hey, Matt, we're back at it again.
I'm sitting here. I'm reading up. There's a lot of folks stirring the pot tonight on Georgia Folk and Farm Life.
Really?
There's some pot stirrers. I'm reading it, and not all of them are you. Hey, I like that. I like that thing that you shared about kids' forts. We've got a new fort in the woods made out of all kind of stuff that was donated by my neighbor, and it's just that just warms. I think that warms everybody's heart when they see a kid's fort coming together.
Yeah, that was
we had them we would we realized that we could steal from the beavers when we were kids. We didn't have sharp tools much. That Mom and Dad did give us a lot. We'd kill one another. My brothers and I would whack one another with axes and saws, and we certainly didn't have chainsaws. But we had beavers there on the creek that would cut trees down, and we would steal them over there and make our forts out of them. And
in the middle of the night, you'd hear 4 little feet.
Yeah,
coming up the driveway, trying to get their
retaking it. Yeah, reclaiming the fort. We kept wondering, why does our fort disappear? What happened to our fort? Yeah, we're fortless. What happened?
Y'all know Wade's
the enemy. Yeah, the enemy came during the night.
Got it. That explains why that one finger of yours is a little shorter than the other one. That beaver, you were wrestling that beaver that night.
That's right, wrestling beaver, nipped it off. Yeah,
just nipped it right there.
A lot of people don't know. I'm missing part of a finger, and that was a work accident. But I pick little kids that, what happened to your finger? And I tell them, a bunny rabbit bit it off, or a deer, and they would be like freaked out.
The best part of this whole story, though, is that when I said that, Wade looked down at his hands like, wait a minute, what? You become so. Yeah. It becomes so. You don't even think about it.
Yeah. I'm not used to people making fun of me like that much. So, crippled, handicap,
Keep coming.
Well, we'll go back to, hold on just a second.
To kids' forts?
To farming. I was going back to talking. I was talking to Mace Henry today, and we were talking about dry years and wet years and good harvest time. But you can have a great crop. And then we've all seen great crop years ruined by too much rain and farmers being unable to gather the crops or having to delay harvest, and the quality goes down. And that's true of cotton. If it gets successive rains on it, it's hanging in tags. It's just the quality goes down and it doesn't pick well. And the same with peanuts, too much water. And we had that hurricane coming the other day. Of course, it turned and went away, but a lot of farmers dug peanuts in a hurry and got them brought in, trying to get in ahead of what was suspected to be a big rain, and then it turned out to be a bust, which was fine. But it rushed the harvest season for a lot of farmers with the peanuts. And so what looked like great peanuts wound up being seg twos. And that's something that we talked about. Mace used to run the peanut market in Swainsboro for several years. He was manager there, and then so he knows a lot about. And we were talking about peanut grades. A lot of people don't know this. When farmers sell peanuts, they're graded when they deliver them to the peanut market, and that peanut market's got a separate room, an area, and samples are taken of every farmer's load, every load that comes in. And they're run through tests in a lab, basically. And that is manned by people that work in for the government. They don't work for the peanut place. They don't work for they are independent. And they don't know the farmers. They don't know the people. They're brought in, and it's kind of a faceless thing. They're in the back room. Samples are brought in, and they're tested. And the grade they get is the grade they get. Mm-hmm. And sometimes peanuts you can have aflatoxin, they can have different kind of damage and different things. But so you want to bet, but sometimes they'll be have a lower grade, and that really those peanuts can be shelled and eaten. They can be used for oil and other things. So it really, really hurts the price that farmers get, and that's about one of the few crops that's dependent on independent government-paid graders that work seasonally at every peanut market. It's a buying station. If they buy peanuts, they've got Department of Agriculture state people that work there that are hired for the season, trained, and grade peanuts. And that's at the mercy of that. But that's a little known aspect of the peanut.
And you can't take it to more than one place, I guess.
No,
you can't divide your load.
No, you take that load there, and it gets graded, and so. That I've seen some farmers really get upset. I haul peanuts and be up there a lot. Seen farmers, and it is really hard to have a bountiful crop
great yield and yet have them grade bad. But cotton's graded too. But I'm not familiar. I used to haul cottonseed and go to gins. I've been to every gin in Georgia and some in other states. And but that's been years ago. I hadn't been involved in going to cotton gins in a long time, but I did haul cottonseed all over the country to dairy farms. That's an interesting thing too. But today, something Mace told me, we were talking about years when it was dry and you have good harvest season and you have a good crop year and then a good harvest time. But then sometimes there've been years where it just rained. It would start raining in the fall and rain just about continuously right into the spring. And I remember some years, and he was talking about one farmer in particular he's an older gentleman. I know him well. He's from originally from Candler County. He's lived right near between Twin City, between there and Swainsboro most of his life. And he has farmland in Candler and Emmanuel counties, and his son's a big farmer too. But he swears this is true. He said, usually used to cotton was traditionally most gins finished baling. Of course, it didn't grow the volume of cotton we do today, and the gins would try to finish ginning by Christmas. That was something everybody tried to do: finish ginning and shut down by Christmas. When cotton really became a big crop again a few years ago, gins started running still ginning in January. And people were still picking cotton after Christmas. Now, when they'll be gin, everybody will pick their cotton. It'll be there in modules and stored in these round bales now, and it'll be pretty much all in the next few weeks. But it might be a backlog. It might be into January. It's occasionally even bumping February ginning. But this farmer was talking about one year it was so wet he couldn't pick his cotton, get the pickers out there in the field, and he said that he swore this was the truth. And if you know farming, you know how unbelievable this is. He said that he finished picking a field of cotton one day in March and replanted it the same day. It was planting time before he picked that field of cotton from the previous season. He picked it and planted it back in cotton the same day in March.
Just because it was so dry.
Yeah, it was wet. It
I meant
so
wet. Yeah, it took it that long to dry out. Wow.
I know Mace is telling the truth, and I know that gentleman that he was referencing that told that. I know him to be an honest, stalwart Christian farmer, and but that's just we laughed about that. That was a bad crop year, Matt. He didn't get much for that cotton. I can promise you that. It didn't. And I don't know.
I don't know why he wouldn't, though. I mean, it was.
I don't know who would gin it in February. You know what I'm saying? That in March.
Yeah, but there's a lot of bachelor men that would have loved to have had clothes made out of that cotton because it was already shrunk.
It was already shrunk.
Hey, you were speaking about nuts earlier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you, please forgive me for what I'm about to say to the person who I'm about to say this to. I haven't laughed this hard in a long time. And our dear friend, Mr. Michael Bright, shared a video this last week that just made me smile from ear to ear on Sunday. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
You remember this? Let me see if I can play it. Here he is. He's dancing right there in the Main Street Market. Here goes the moon. There's the moonwalk.
Music Memories Museum. Yeah, if you listen, go to Main Street Market Music Memories Museum on Facebook and check out Michael dancing to that tune. There, it was a great video.
You just hear him moonwalk. Here's the slide. Michael, I'm telling you, that just. I'm telling you.
It should go viral.
He needs to dance a lot more in those videos because he makes a lot of videos down there at the Music Memories Museum.
It's a great place.
He just has a great time. He's a Southern gospel singer too.
Yeah.
He's very talented. He is a very talented man, and a fine dancer. And if you don't believe me, go watch the video. It's
Music Memories Museum.
You can't watch it and not laugh. I shared it on Georgia Radio.
If you're having a bad day, go watch Michael Bright's video of him.
He could brighten a lot of people's day.
He busts a move. He busts a move.
If maybe we should take up like a request line for him to dance too.
Yeah.
And I bet people would all over the world.
You know what song I'd request? The first one.
Which one?
Don't mess with my toot toot. That would be.
I forgot about that song. It's a great song. Yeah. What was the guy's name? Don't mess with my toot toot. Yeah, that's a good song.
Big hit. Yeah, that was in the 80s.
That's a great song. We need to play that one on Georgia radio.
Yeah, don't mess with my toot.
Yeah, that's a great song. Well, I think it just great stuff though. I'm serious. I loved it. I loved every bit of the stuff that he shares there. So.
Yeah, it's like I say, uplifting. It's all uplifting and fun and positive. There's nothing, you go, and we're just giving a plug to the Main Street Market. It's an antique mall there that Michael runs and his family there. And he also does gospel singing, and he'll come to your church and sing if you want him to at an event. And he has the Music Memories Museum where a lot of them big stars, country music stars, and early rock stars, memorabilia there, things they own, motorcycles, clothing, just things you wouldn't think he'd be in Swainsboro at a museum, but he got it there. We're going to have to charge him for this. Yeah, we have to send him a bill for this promo here. I don't know who got off on that, but
he just wrote in and he said he heard that about his video. So I'm glad, Michael. I'm telling you, Michael, dance by request. Be good stuff. Be good stuff right there. So, yeah, he needs to. That would be fun though. It really would be.
Yeah, it would.
There you go, Wade. You ready?
Yep.
It's that time of night.
Don't mess with my toot toot.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, if you're taking requests,
Yeah.
So
do that.
There you go. All right, Brother Wade.
Well, speaking of music, there's our music. There's the closing the show. Listen, it's been fun as always. We enjoyed it, and we thank you for listening and live or on the podcast. We love y'all. We love Georgia Folk and Farm Life members and everybody. Invite your friends to come to the Facebook group or listen to the show. Listen to Georgia Radio when you're working and at your leisure there. Get the app on my Georgia Radio app or go online to GeorgiaRadio.com. Thank you, Meeks Brothers, for sponsoring the show. We love you. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Brother Wade.
Georgia Radio. Everywhere you go.
Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at DiscountTire.com. Discount Tire. Let's get you taken care of.
How about we heat things up tonight?
How so?
Get a little fresh, add some steam, sizzle, and spice.
Wait, you're talking about going to Outback again, aren't you? Fire things up at Outback Steakhouse. For a limited time, try our bloomin' fried shrimp or get fresh with our new strawberry salad. Go big with our bone-in ribeye or the filet and grilled shrimp on the barbie. Then cool off with a cucumber crush or peanut koala. Try them all before they're gone. Let's Outback.